Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today's video is a hair business talks video. So I've been doing a business on a budget series here on YouTube where I've been going over different tips and resources and general information on how to start your business or even run and maintain your business on a budget. So be sure to tune into that. And then I also have a hair business series. I actually have an entire hair business playlist. So if you're interested in additional hair business topics, be sure to check out my hair business playlist after this video. But during these type of videos, what I like to do is I like to read through any questions that I've received via text, email, my website forum. I do have two websites. One of my websites is badchickhair.com. If you're interested in starting your hair business, I have my ebook over there, drop shipping options, wholesale options, and all of that good stuff. And then I also have a website, keepingupwithbrittney.com. This website is where I pretty much outline everything that I'm doing. So we had a free masterclass going over how to target, how to first identify and then market to your target audience. I did that about a month and a half to 2 months ago at this point. So be sure to follow me on my social media platforms. Those are linked below. And then also check into the Keeping Up with Brittney website. If you enroll in the email mailing list, you really won't have to check in on my social medias all the time because I send out newsletters and let you know exactly what I'm doing. But nevertheless, I want to read a question that I actually got from one of my forums. I can't remember which website it is at this point, but I remember it was from a website. If you have any questions or if you want me to go over anything pertaining to what you're currently dealing with in the hair industry, be sure to leave me a comment down below, or go to either one of my websites that I just mentioned, leave me a forum there, or go and submit a form there with your information and your question. I do like to keep the questions anonymous, but I think it's really good for me to answer the questions back when I get them. So I'll reply back to your email if you go to one of my forums. But I think it's also a good idea to talk about the topics or some of the questions that I think other people can benefit from as well. So that's what we're doing today. Before we get started, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into it. So the email reads, I'm going to skim past some of the email, but just to give you the gist of it, I can never seem to have the lengths nor textures on hand, and I keep missing orders. I bought a lot of 16-inch straight when I was asked last month. No one has asked for that recently, though. So pretty much just to summarize, this is a hair business entrepreneur that is wanting to not miss out on any sales, actually wanting to capitalize, on every opportunity, which is great. She mentioned that she is struggling with having the correct lengths and textures on hand because she is missing orders when she doesn't. She bought 16-inch straight, or she bought a lot of 16-inch straight. She bought that because she was asked last month. So people were coming to her last month and saying, hey, I'm looking for 16-inch straight, but let's just use Brazilian straight as an example. I'm looking for 16-inch Brazilian straight. Do you have Brazilian straight? Do you have straight on hand? And so she went ahead and ordered a lot of Brazilian straight 16 inches, thinking that she was going to sell out of it pretty quickly, I'm assuming, because she got asked that a lot last month. But no one has asked for that recently. So this month rolls around. She has the inventory that people were asking for last month, and it's sitting there. I'm assuming no one's really asking for that texture. So what should you do in that case? I do want to start off by saying this: no matter what part you are in your entrepreneurial journey, as far as the hair industry, if you are selling hair via drop shipping, if you're selling hair via the pre-order method, I definitely recommend that you have hair on hand. I advocate for drop shipping. I do. I've offered drop shipping for years. I've had people that have utilized my services for years consecutively. And so I see the potential with drop shipping. I see the success with drop shipping, and I'm not going to ever downplay that because it really works. Being able to get started with a business and not having to invest a lot up front in inventory is a win for a lot of people. A lot of people have gotten their start and their foot through the business and been able to grow their business and maintain it, and be able to put the funds that they would have used to purchase the inventory into other aspects like their website, their marketing, and they've been able to see a great return. So it's all about the strategy. I will say though, you still want to have hair on hand, in my opinion. Like the email mentioned, she's missing orders. If you don't have hair on hand, there's a great chance that you're going to miss some orders. I'm not saying that every single order has to be got, because there are going to be some times where you're going to be in a position, possibly, I know a lot of us have been in this position, where you're faced with an opportunity to move forward with an order and you decide not to. Maybe you feel like the order is fraudulent, maybe you feel like the order, really, maybe you feel like it's fraudulent. There are some times where you get online orders, and we're not going to get too deep into that in this video. But some things don't match. You're just like, this doesn't match, this address doesn't match this address, this name. It just, and then you may also get fraud alerts through Shopify. So I can see where not all orders are good orders. Also, put fraud to the side, there may be an opportunity where you are offered to deliver hair on hand, and the gas that you're going to spend to go out to deliver the hair on hand just isn't worth it. Or you may be offered an opportunity to go and deliver hair on hand to someone that has stood you up multiple times, and you may say, look, I'm going to pass on that opportunity. So you always want to use your best judgment and your strategy, but I can say that it is very smart to have hair on hand. Now, what I will do in this video is go over some tips for those that are having hair, that have hair on hand. So what I would say first, number one, is advertise what you have along with the benefits of ordering through you. Sell on the value. Value beats quickness in the long run. You may have lost the race, but it's truly a marathon. So what I mean by that, let me kind of break that down. Advertise what you have. So if you ordered based on last month, what people were asking for, if people aren't asking for that, I want you to, I'm not sure if you're doing this or not, but my recommendation would be advertise what you have. If you're waiting for people to come to you and say, hey, do you have this? The chances of you meeting a successful match in any industry, if you're using that formula, is going to be lower than if you put out there, hey, this is what I have. It broadens your market. It broadens the people that may be interested. You may have people that don't even know that you sell hair, that when you post, hey, I have this available, may be interested. So don't rely on the same people to come back and ask for the same thing. I would definitely advertise what I have. And I wouldn't advertise what I have in a sense of, hey, I have hair on hand, just buy any type of hair. I would still continue to promote, or start promoting if you're not already, the value of your hair, because a lot of people are selling hair, but you want to make sure that you're standing out. You want to make sure that your hair is selling on the value, because where price and quickness are competing, constantly, value always stands alone. A lot of people, and they've been studies showing this, a lot of people are willing to wait longer for a better quality and pay a little bit more or a lot more for a better quality than they are to just impulsively buy something. Now, will you have impulsive buyers who don't really care at the moment if they're getting great quality or not? Yes. You'll have some people that say, look, I don't really care. I just want some hair today because I have an event today. If it tangles, I'm taking it out anyways later on tonight. That's just what it is. You'll have those people as well. But when you're thinking about building up your pipeline of business, when you're thinking about building your pipeline, your book of business, getting repeat clients, what type of people are you wanting to market to? Are you wanting to market to people that are so in a rush to get their hair that they don't care about the pricing or the shipping, or they're always looking for the cheapest, fastest service? Or are you wanting to market and work with people that are aware of the value, that are able to wait, honestly, for you to get your hair in stock, or to wait for you to ship? Now, I'm not saying take advantage of that and just have people waiting forever, or take advantage of that and have your prices super, super high where it doesn't even make sense. But I am saying that use your best judgment. Again, have a strategy. It's not about who wins the race. I remember when I was in this Facebook group when I first started selling hair, and people would tag me all the time, like locally. When people would say, hey, who has bundles? People would tag me and say, Brittney has bundles, Brittney has bundles. And it started to be kind of like, it just seemed like a race. I had to hurry up and post. I didn't have to, but I would hurry up and respond back and try to reach the customer. And so would everyone else in the city that was tagged. And then, it just was like that. It began to get tiring, and I didn't like that style. I didn't want to always have to rush and be available for that order. Sometimes I was in the middle of grocery shopping and I'm like, dang it, someone just tagged me. I got to hurry up and run and get this order. So leave my groceries here and just run. And it was just a lot. And sometimes the customer wouldn't answer the DM back. Sometimes the customer already gotten helped by someone else. And I was just like, I don't like this style of selling. So I did is I started having different policies in place for my business. And so people were pretty much under the assumption that, hey, I'll do on-hand orders through this period of time each day, or I'm doing on-hand orders in this area. But it wasn't just, hey, who has bundles? Brittney's going to you. I wasn't calculating the gas. I wasn't calculating what I was, even measuring what I was doing and the impact of me stopping what I was doing to go and fulfill this order. So I had to make sure that it all made sense. So I would recommend advertising what you do have, letting people know, hey, I have 16-inch Brazilian straight on hand, showing pictures of the straight, explaining why they are wanting to purchase your straight, show them the cuticles, explain the longevity in the hair, show them how it looks when you flat iron it, how it looks when it's curled. I mean, you definitely can sell that while waiting for people to come to you. And then, like I said, you want to make sure that you're selling on the value, which I kind of went over. Now, the next point, and you may hear me flipping because I'm looking at my notes here, is number 2, have a system in place and continue to stock up, build a variety. So I wouldn't go off of just what people asked for last month. Because people change their minds very quickly, very, very quickly. I mean, buyer's remorse is a thing. I'm not saying it applies in this certain scenario, but I'm throwing out buyer's remorse just to reiterate the fact that people change their mind all the time. So although some people may have wanted straight last month, this month they may want deep wave. You also want to look at the trends and the seasons. During spring break, what is the most popular texture that you sell? For me, during spring break, the most popular texture that I sell is body wave and my deep wave, my Golian deep wave. Sometimes it changes. Sometimes people order straight, and I know not every company has the exact same trend, because some companies have, they're known for certain textures, and certain people like purchasing, from certain companies during certain times. But I'm saying you want to also kind of get the feel and the trend for your clients and what they typically purchase, and then during the times that they're purchasing, or kind of matching up the seasons to the textures that are typically being sold through your business. So it's very important to keep record and track of what's happening with your business, because you can kind of use that as a blueprint. Now, it's not going to be exactly the same. I can't say that I've had the exact same orders in the month of March one year that I did the exact same, the next year in March. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that it typically follows a pattern as far as textures. I can typically gauge what texture is going to sell the month based on my prior records and the pattern of my business. So learn the pattern of your customers, learn the pattern of your business. That's why analytics are so important. I know a lot of people don't really like getting into it, and I say that because I mentor people, I do business consultations, and I have conversations even outside of me working, quote unquote, with other entrepreneurs. And some people don't like to get into the analytics. I didn't want to get into the analytics when I first started, and I never saw myself as someone really looking at patterns like that. But it all matters. It's going to help you be more successful when you understand the pattern of your business and what your customers are looking to purchase when. And then build up a variety. So if you want to build up a system where, let's say you're drop shipping right now, but you want hair on hand, every profit you get or every sale you make out of your profit, I've made a whole video about how I pay myself as an entrepreneur. Set some money aside for your business. Out of that money, look to reinvest in actual, having hair on hand. Purchase a bundle or 2, purchase 3 bundles, and then the next time you make another sale, do the same thing and purchase a variety of lengths, a variety of textures. I would start with the most popular textures for your business. So if people are purchasing more of your deep wave, I would start there. I would order the most popular textures of your deep wave, with the understanding that, hey, there's a chance that someone may ask for a texture I don't have. But don't forget to sell on the value, and also why they should wait for your sale. Because if you don't have let's say you don't have what they're asking for on hand, you can always double back and offer to have them place an order online and get the hair delivered to them. You want to ask some discovery questions and see exactly how soon they're needing the hair and when they're needing the hair. So there are some people that are wanting the hair today, but if you ask the right questions, you'll figure out that they don't have their appointment until next month. They just wanted the hair. So if you can let that person know, and if they can trust you that, hey, I'm good for it, you make your order today, you're going to have your hair by next month, no questions asked. That is going to also be able to save some of those orders that you may have lost otherwise. The next point that I want to go to is pay attention to trends and know your client base. So I just kind of mentioned that, going over, understanding what season your customers are purchasing what texture the most, how your Black Friday sales do, what texture are people purchasing mostly during Black Friday. I mean, all of that. Pay attention to that. Not going to spend too much time on that because I just, went over it. Number 4, ask questions to see if they would be interested in what you have. So provide options. Let's say that someone is saying, hey, I want deep wave and all you have is straight right now. Asking them additional questions to see exactly what style they're going for. Just building that relationship and that rapport not only helps to encourage repeat business and form a relationship with you all, which is the foundation of any sales, in my opinion, a good sales, in my opinion. But then asking some questions and seeing what style they're interested in, because some people will say, hey, I want a spiral curl look. That's why I'm going for deep wave. And I'll get a picture and I'm like, oh, okay, well, you can have that look with my body wave, or you can have that look with my straight. All you have to do is use the wand curler, or all you have to do is and some people really don't know that. So don't assume that everyone knows what you know. Consider yourself an expert. You don't have to know everything to be an expert, but put yourself in that position and put yourself in the position of a problem solver. How can I solve this solution? And sometimes, you don't have what you don't have. Sometimes you are going to lose sales. But for me, I sleep better knowing that I tried everything that I could and I went over all of my options before just letting the sale go to the wayside. And my ultimate goal is not just making a sale. I don't look at it that way. Of course, that's my goal. I want to make the sale, but my ultimate goal is to help my client. So asking those questions is it's all in effort to help them, understand exactly what it is they're needing and how I can help with what I have. And if I don't have it, then what are the other options? People love options. The last thing that I want to go over is build a buddy system with other local hair businesses for a pipeline of referrals. So like I mentioned, I used to be in this Facebook group where people would tag me and they would tag other people that sold hair in my area. And there was one time that I was just like, it was toward the time that I was getting tired of that whole, having to rush whenever someone tagged me. And I didn't have to. Again, I did that out of my impulse and because I was new to business and I didn't want to miss any sale, not realizing that it needed to be strategized. I needed a strategy and it needed to be calculated in order for me to make the most sense out of all of my sales. There are some people that make a lot of sales and they have actually lost money because they didn't price out their products right. They didn't price out the gas that they were spending to go here and there and deliver bundles. It all needs to make sense. You can make money, but being able to maintain it and grow it, that's a skill. So back to the buddy system, I was in the group with some other people and they used to tag me and one other person a lot. And so when I didn't have the hair, instead of me just saying, what actually happened was they tagged me and the person went to my DMs and she wanted to meet up with me. And I didn't have what she was looking for in stock. And after I asked some additional questions, I reached out to the other person that was tagged with me that offered hair. And I asked if they had it. They did. And so what I did is I started referring people over to her when she had the hair in stock, and she would refer people over to me when she didn't have the hair in stock and I did. So we kind of built like this pipeline. It wasn't anything formal where we sat down and had a business meeting, but we just had an understanding that, hey, if I don't have it, I'm gonna send them over to you. If you don't have send them over to me. And that started building a pipeline of customers. And it was really beautiful, honestly, because you see a lot of entrepreneurs fighting against each other and trying to down one to get to the next, but people really respect authenticity and respect. And when people see that you're an upright person, not just to them, but how you treat other people and other people in the industry, a lot of people feel more comfortable working with you. So integrity goes a long way. People being able to see that, hey, I'm not trying to, just gatekeep. If I don't have it, I'm going to definitely offer you the options that I do have, but I'm ultimately going to, I want to see you happy. You know what I mean? Like I want you taken care of. That's my main goal. So if I can't do it and someone else can, then I'm okay with giving that opportunity to somebody else. And that really helped grow my pipeline. That really helped strengthen relationships, which I talk about a lot on this channel. I know a lot of people are not really focused on the relational part of business. Excuse me. But that is so huge. That is so huge. It's one thing to get an order today, and it's one thing to have an order tomorrow, but it's another thing to build those relationships and continuously have that relationship that allows people to feel comfortable enough to continuously purchase. That's how you build your brand. Not just about who can have the cheapest hair and who can sell the most today. The person that sells the most today may not be the person that actually has a sustainable business by the end of the year. So you don't want to look at just the momentum of a business or just how much profit they're making right now today, but you want to look at the foundation, how the foundation is actually built. This may not resonate with some of you all, but I just started my lock journey about 11 months ago, and I record that here on this channel. And I'm noticing now that some of the locks that I started, I have micro locks, the foundation was not big enough. It wasn't strong enough. And so initially it looked okay, but as time goes on, I'm noticing, man, I should have combined, or I should have made this one a little bit bigger. So I'm going to combine these locks so that the foundation is stronger. And that's illustration pretty much of the business. Just because you start off the business and it looks fine now, you want a business with a strong foundation that you can grow into. What looks okay now can definitely pose issues and problems later on if they're not addressed. So just keep that in mind. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank you all for your support. If you appreciate content like this, be sure to thumbs the video up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye.